Padin Save Lama Mochi. Dake Cho Pede Dengola Kadin Chimbugun. Jison Te Kozon So Jengudo Tado. So all of you who knows me, because you send me on different centers worldwide, individual people have been asking me to teach. You all know I never have studied, so I don't have a knowledge of study. But somehow I did meditate, practice for many years, so I have experience. And to start with, I never ask anybody to pay for my webcast teaching. It is my offering. And also, you can see clearly, as a Buddhist around the world, we should always remember we have a responsibility of maintaining the environment, properly, Mother Earth. We're not going to be ruining our good fortune to even throw away one spoon of food. We should never throw food away. And we should also learn to plant trees, especially sanghas, and we should never harm. I remember in Tibet, all the monasteries are responsible for protecting their areas, whether it's tree, animals, spring water. They never take something which is not asked by permission. So if as a monastery or individual people want to say a tree or spring water, you do first pray and ask for permission to be given. So this is actually very, very relevant. So I will now talk through my own experience. What is study? We study many, many texts, so Buddha have taught 84,000 types of teachings. But these are 84,000 types of methods or poisons. When they come to root of the poison is ignorant, marikpa, not seeing it properly, which then causes all these other poisons to react. So we should learn to deal the root of the poison, our own ignorance. So especially now, corona disease, everybody's locked in situation. And people who are not before practitioner or Buddhist way of thinking, they get very, very stressed. They get very, very paranoid. They never do any good for themselves. If you are followers of Buddhism, instead of projecting, blaming out there, you always, always look inwardly. So when you look inwardly, then there is nothing to project, no one to project. So if you can somehow remain in this Dharma teaching called middle path, middle way. So Umalanjupa, that is one of the texts. So if we're able to stay in the impartial state of mind, that is very best, means not in the right, not in the left. Being in the middle means not in the past, not in the future, being in the present. Because different upbringing from our childhood, culture, tradition, teach different things. So in Buddhist part of the world, we told creative or no creative, you have to have very good, stable, loving, caring mind. Then everything is possible. In Europe, civilization is called, if you are just simple, then you think you are very intelligent. Keeping your mind so busy creating one after the other, so there is never end to this. And if you really look into many of the, like even professors, many clever people gradually sometimes become mentally insane because they see they haven't succeeded to anything to pinpoint because they have been chasing the rainbow. If you chase rainbow, you can't catch rainbow. So if you chase your wondrous mind, there isn't anything to catch. But if you just know it's all in the mind, then you don't have to do. Then there's a calmness, there's satisfaction. So always remembering gratitude, appreciation, even in these such days we are all going through. So this somehow, corona disease has brought many people around the world together because they can see when Buddha says interconnectedness means if one end suffers, everybody suffers. So now people really slowly become more kinder, nicer, willing, and eager to take care of other human beings. So Bodhisattva teaching only means that what went wrong is so much about me, I. So there is no others in there. But one day, how about others? If I want happy, others want happy. If I want well off, others want well off. So I can't have everything my way. So how about others? So because of this corona disease, if we able to think of all the other people's need, that's a major changing. And I can see there's some really good doctors, nurses, they see the suffering of people who are dying. They don't want to leave their beloved ones behind. There are so many people left behind. They don't want to let go of the one who's dying, but none of them have any choice. So then you can actually see the Buddha's teaching a reality in the what you see in a hospital. So many doctors say they actually stop thinking about themselves. Some of them say they walk middle of corona disease. One even Asian or Chinese doctor died, but he didn't mind by saving others. He says it's worthwhile. Then there's nurses doing exactly the same. Some of them stayed in nursing home for 6 months or 6 weeks because they didn't want these old people to get this sickness and they don't want to feel that they didn't do enough of it. So they just said, we will all stay here till they're all free from this or they get better. So this is a really big change. And then there's great many people. There's one footballer, he says, when he was brought up single mother, he didn't have enough resources to feed him, and he's been hungry all his life. And when he learned to play football, he was so good in scoring the ball. He got a lot of money. At least he gave his own money, millions of pounds, for the feeding of the poor people. And he bought a house in the name of his own mother. I never seen this in Europe before that, because Europe, the children say it's mine, parents say it's mine. The parents never give the children what they wish to have. Children never learn to look after the parents. In Asia, consider this is not having children better than having children because you invest 24, 5 years of your very best life to look after them, and when they grow up, they become your enemy number one because they always blame you of what they are going through. So this is the way things really went wrong. So we should never allow that thing happens in this part of the world. So many of you say you're going to practice Dharma and be uh, enlightened, but none of you know what enlightened means. If you really want to get someone, some way, when you truly 100% engage for the benefit of others, that's beginning of your proper and pure journey. So I suggest Buddhism around the world, we should this time learn to share what we have to others who don't have enough to eat. Learn to give extra clothes you don't need those who need out there. There's so many needy people, wanting people, they need help. They will never refuse, but they should be choice. What do I need this for? Look at, I have wardrobe of clothes or things. If I die, I can't even take any of this. So even I always say in Buddha Dharma says, what you use to feed this body so costly food, spending so much money to maintain this fragile, flesh and bone. If we were to die, it's all dissolved into earth. So that investment in your body never actually benefited nobody. So it's like Buddhist world, we do have some good things like you in a somebody die, you always think it's honorable thing to bury underground. Or mostly now you burn them. That nobody benefit. In Tibet, they feed the vultures. So then nothing has been wasted. Like offering. You're not attached to the body. Relatives are not attached to the body of deceased. It's everything is well used. So I would like all our Kaju Samye Dong people truly engaging social activities, whatever part of the world you are, and also making sure few things are included. It means every sentient beings, no color, race, gender, age, you never discriminate. You treat and also respect equally. My brother Rinpoche, when we fed Ropa Subran, he said, never tell those unfortunate people who is feeding you, because that means from there on they feel they have to somehow respect you because you and your organization is feeding them. So my brother's instruction was never to say who's feeding them, never to throw some food out, or you're junkie or you're needing. That's never good. They feel already low enough. So why do you want to humiliate them? You should always respect them like offering to deities, and also offer them the very best food. For last 24, 5 years, that's what Samye Dong, some of them Ropa soup eating has been doing. So when you look into like my brother is a really good example. He never hardly taught many people, but his one word was solid gold enough to people, change people's life. Then it is they can remember for a long time. They always say, all I need to do is remember Rinpoche's name, and that it answers everything. So some really trustworthy. He never accumulated the money. Everything he got, he spent it for feeding, like Ropa, help in Tibet, help whoever needs help. Name is Ropa. Ropa means help whoever needs help. Calculating that thing, they managed to raise 35, 36 million pounds to help projects in Tibet. He never discriminated religion-based. He never discriminated age-based, color-based. He was helping Bumpo, Gelugpas, Nyingmapas, Sajapa, whoever needs help. All his wish is to teach them how to be good and kind human being. He managed to teach all the women what skill, if they have, will gain respect. If you're a doctor, everybody respects you. So he sent 24, 5 young girls to become doctor. One is, I think, died. Remaining all past doctor degree. And others don't. They have their own clinic. They're very successful. And my nephews, they have the highest doctor degree. Some of them work in Lhasa, some of them work in Chamdo. They can go and teach any place in mainland China. Their degree is very high, but they also, every year, in my brother's university, they make medicine, they give everybody years worth of free medicine, checkup, helping, offering to the monastery. So everything they do is just remembering what Akun Rinpoche expect them to do. So I would also like to remind all Europeans or Samye people, Samye in Tibet was the first ever religion come there, and it is almost after thousands of years ago. Samye means it is benefit Buddhism from their onwards. Guru Rinpoche and first king of Tibet, Panchuchin, this is Samye Ling. Samye is going to beyond imagination, means benefits or sending means nobody could ruin this even under strong communist regime. After destroying all these thousands of monasteries, Samye managed to survive. But one way of thinking is Buddhism. If you have the wisdom and knowledge of Buddha's teaching, monastery doesn't mean nothing. If they can ruin every monastery, but you can still maintain the, we call Buddha Dharma alive. They are certain human beings. When Chinese tortured them, locked them 30, 40 years in calm Tibet, many, many great learned lamas who are really enlightened beings, but they willing and eagerly be in the prison to always praying for those who are torturing for their liberation. These themselves have no pain and suffering being tortured. Some of them never got any food to eat, but the food wasn't really also necessary. So I give a book to Anilamu to read, this Kamba woman. She's stories. She have all these 9 brothers, and the Chinese caught all of them, tortured them, and then they locked them for all their life. And then one brother came outside, borrowed some Tamba provision. Then one of the caretakers saying, you better not keep this in yourself because others will be very hungry. They will not like it. I'll give you a little bit every day. But then as other people start to smell the soup with Tamba, Then she thought, I am very selfish. I'll make all this samba in a big pot full of soup and share this to all the prisoners in the 300, 400, whatever there is. They was very enlightened being. He never says, I'm enlightened being. He said to her, you did the most beautiful job. In this prison, maybe you or few will be only alive. We will all be dead. We will never be able to escape. And she says, this is exactly what happened. Lama who told her that, he sort of sit upright. He never had any pain. He passed away. She was also so energized. She never felt anger or pain and just she never thought she can die. So she escaped. So Dalai Lama is honest. Dalai Lama is promoting her because her story is genuinely true. So if you're bodhisattva, if you're kind, stable, one's own self means nothing. You're willing to give everything to other people's benefit. So, Samye around the world, if you all think you're a good practitioner, all of you think we as a Buddhist, we want to achieve enlightenment. There is no enlightenment if there's no generosity. Generosity is what makes you enlightened. Generosity means giving. Giving doesn't mean only materialistic. Time, space, loving, kindness, doing everything to share and giving, then there is really a much joy in it. So I pray, wish all the Samyans around the world, not this, but also individual people who are listening to me, now is time to get along, never to argue. I think Buddha said, and some even all the ancient people says, when people argue trying to prove one's right, then they says never argue, give in. Because stupid people will only argue because there's no point to win. It upset everybody, so no argument is necessary. And there are many of you who have parents. Parents are most precious. They brought every one of us, especially mother, how long they carried you in their belly, lot of pain, lot of inconvenience, suffering. When you come out, they even sucking your nucus, killing your buttock. Never saw it something filthy or unhealthy. When one grows gradually, then we become sort of saying, oh, it's dirty, it's not right. Judgment start to come up when we become, we think we're growing up. Otherwise, there is no such a thing, good or bad. It's all in the mind. So I suggest every one of you, please look after your parents, especially if they are old. They will die anytime. So wouldn't you like to send them with joy and happy, saying, I have wonderful children. They really cared me, liked me. They have such a gratitude and appreciation. And if you treat your parents wrongly, shouting, misbehaving, then I think your parents will really get very hurtful. And then this cycle of your link to your parents will never stop. But then from next life, it will be a very bad life, like some family. Children are tortured. They even sometimes don't feed them food, even to their parents. This is what happens if you mistreat your parents and also animals. Animals haven't Buddha life. Some of you like dogs very much, but you don't like other animals. Or some of you like cat very much, but don't like dogs. So then you have this biased opinion, and then you really beat the others or don't feed. Never, never do. When you see the animals, you should always remember to feel sorry for them. Like you can see skull sheep on the land, whole year round, raining they are in the field. Sunny they getting very heat because sheep is hair is so thick. They are really suffering. So whole day night they suffer for uncomfortable life. When there's summer, plenty of grass, so they have plenty to eat, but they don't have wisdom to store food. So winter, they don't have hardly much, so they also feel hunger. So animals like they haven't got mental capacity to think on the plane. Due to why they're born as animals, we're being ignorant human beings, not, not having gained enough wisdom. So always pray for these animals. And I, because I am old and I can't sleep and I get up early, and I have very nice wood heaters so it keeps warm. So I want to wake up myself and I put my head through the window and get plenty of air and then recite Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Veda Sato Hum, Om Vedang Guru Pema Sito Hum, praying for those animals, saying, I feel really sorry for you. You must be cold. You must be hungry. There's nothing I can do to solve all this, but due to what you planted in previous seeds, now you're paying it. So please never, never become ignorant. And then Europe, whether you're male or female, some of you get attached to each other. You have a lot of desire. That's the worst thing you can ever do. You see the male peasants, they're trying to get this female peasant, but they don't succeed. They have so much desire, the burning, but yet it's so much desire doesn't get you anywhere. And the female, these patients are so terrified because they don't want to have many chicks and then they have to go and hide somewhere. So I pray for them. So don't give into desire, Ram, or I'm telling you, you all will be like a peasants. So it's so simple. Buddha's logic is you can't expect to have apple without planting apple trees. You can't expect to have nice, we call sunflower, without sunflower seeds. So if you want to be free, liberated, easy to go, easy to come, renounce your desire and attachment. Same thing, even your wealth. If you're so attached to your money, wealth, house, how much you can use, especially people who have so much money. I don't think they have good food, average food. Remaining, I have money, I have money, nothing. So this we say, this fruition of having everything, yet you never think you have enough, you're chasing this hallucination, and then if you are reborn as a hungry ghost because you never learned share with other people, you never benefited being rich. So being rich is not going to make you a better human being. But your generosity means if you're always there to give and share whatever you can, you will never be shortage of everything. For example, I as ordinary Tibetan from Tibet, I should be very attached to everything. I would want to everything. But one thing in my head was I never was attached to anything. If my brother you send some money, first thing I do is I take all my friends and we have good tea or we can have nice sweet. Never learned to save one penny in my life. Never worked any time to gain any money. But I think there's a good example. Katya, Ken's wife, she wrote me nice email yesterday. I was shocked of my own life. She told me 62, 3 something,
69.
69. She saw me in Samye. She said she could not believe how arrogant I was and how she thought I was
She
some
looks like a Bollywood actor.
Bollywood actor, long black cloth, dagger, knife, and all the things. I was too shocked. She says, I truly believe that time Jamda and this time Lama Yeshe, secondary incarnation is much better. So if you are good practitioner, your reincarnation should be better one, not going backward, but going forward. So that you can only achieve this by letting go of I. I. I is one which imprisons us. I is one which makes us miser. I is one which makes us angry. I is evil of all. So never to submit oneself to I. The minute I comes, you'd say to yourself, you dictated me many miserable lives. I'm now divorcing you. I'm not, I'm not giving you silly eye. Think about Buddha say, there's no I. And I look into, I have now one book in here, everything, Hindu, goddess and God, they all, Buddha just managed to make them to help him, see, because through his loving kindness, caring, there wasn't anything new thing he created. He just trying to fit in what old tradition is. So you're a Buddhist. You don't need to think you have to be like Tibetans, you have to be like Lama. New generation of European Buddhists to be less selfish, less I, less me, less everything else, more about others, helping, simple, simplicity in the life. So we should engage. So even now, I'm meant to be 76. I know it so well, but I'm doing a lot of job right now. I am trying to build a temple. I'm trying to commission Buddha statues. I'm trying to get Buddha text. I think in between, I already spent £1 million. I never have money. This is Lama Yeshe, you always exaggerate. You never learn to say few pounds. You only talk millions. I think next time I'll learn to talk billions. Millions and less ambition, I think. This is why do we have to grow down to £1. So when you think high, think big, resources comes. So Anil was looking my time was okay. So I'm not talking too much nonsense. And my monks and nuns in Samye, stop asking me to teach you people. Kempo Labo, most learned scholar, he's called Kempo. He learned from Kempo Sudamlo. He learned from Kajupa, Nyingmapa. He is teaching you all day more than almost sometimes 2 hours every day. What can I teach you people? I don't know anything except my own experience. True Dharma, dawa chun dawa dowa ngimiki Renouncing Jangbo Noa and Doa Imis. I don't know all this Noa, no day text. I just able to pacify this very stubborn mind is my realization. And I'm trying to always remembering to maintain the middle part. I am always willing and eager to whoever needs help. So many people sending me email. I just simple answer to them. It's like medicine. It really helps. I never ignore them. Some of them I don't know whoever is writing. So I really want people to help each other. Samye should rejoice. You have the best teacher in the right now in the Buddhist world. Is respected from all the schools, and even I look into great school of New Kadampa, the Gelugpa tradition. Then Je Tsongkhapa, first thing what he did, he learned 6 yogas of Naropa. He learned many of the teachings from Mapalota's students. So Kadam Cho the Gelugpa and Nyingma Kajupa are almost like same, the source is coming same. So these meditate and I'm reading some of them like Milarepa or Jawa Gurtangpa, they go into 40 years of retreat. The text, they study all the text. Then they go into see the fruition, so they go into retreat. They never give into, this is one of them I'm now reading, say, he never took any money, he never wanted possession, he never owned anything. He just want to continue meditation to experience so that more he's learned, more he get inner realization, then he pacifies and subdues all the evil maras and he can benefit limitless beings. So when I read this, I'm also praying, saying, may I able to one day achieve this, because they say some of them are born as young and they already starting on Mane Peme Home, saying, I am who I am and what I come here to bring more liberation, benefit, to maintain Buddha, Dharma, Sangha in the snow land. Means Tibet is land of snow, and it is we call it king of Bodhisattva. Panchuchen is a promise he will be responsible keeping Tibetans under the Dharma. So we have beginning, start the king is called Panchuchen Rizek when Guru Rinpoche came, he invited. Then Dalai Lama is Panchuchen Rizek alive, because you read in his teaching, he said, even when he was very young, he went to Lhasa, he know things change coming. And when he said, I know I can live up to 110 years old. His job is not to lose Buddha-Dhamma. His job is to maintain, help all these billions of people around the world, teach loving kindness. He said he never also cared possession, money. And of course, Rikpi Doji, lineage is Manjuchin is alive. So there are many of this Tibet is activity of Manjuchin is Georgi Padin Atisha who came to Tibet. He gave his we call regent and also one of the Panjuchin is Domtumba Jemi Jungni. So Panchuchen is the protector of Tibetan. And Tibetan, if you look at the landscape, mountain like this, Tibetan flag completely fits in there properly. Tibetans, like the Lama, he went to conquer Mongolia conquered Tibetans, but they managed to teach all of them reciting Omane Peme. Many make them to promise never to kill, cut off animals' head. They have done so much good things. So always, even though now our country is under communist regime, but then our culture, tradition, our teaching, loving kindness to all the mainland Chinese people. So 300-400 million Chinese people are taught proper Dharma. So it's like whichever way, it's a win-win situation. So we as Tibet, before we escaped to Europe, none of you ever know even Tibet. Where is Tibet? Where is Tibet? We all say, I come from Tibet, but I don't know Tibet. But Dalai Lama, whole place, entire world knows Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama represents Tibet. So through one person, his good deeds, Tibet is known all over the world. He has got lot of recognition, Nobel Prizes. He is teaching Chinese scholars. He is teaching Chinese communists, saying, we're not saying everything you did in Tibet was bad. You improved Tibetan people's life. You made a road accessible for them to go. You made these people to get from far end of Tibet to last a few days. There's flight, there's train, there's road. But if you take away the Dharma, then it's like hollow. It's materialist, it doesn't do anything. So now when I look into Tibet, inside Tibet, outside Tibet, all Tibetans know how to challenge, they call impose rule. You don't argue, you don't fight. They sing beautiful songs. Always song has a meaning, saying we are very grateful to our mother. We are very grateful to our father. We are grateful to our sister, brothers. Wherever, whatever part of the world they are, we are united in one thing. That means never take upon ourselves aggression, trying to hurt other people, kill other people. But we're going to learn how to have compassion, how to have loving kindness and forgiveness. So when I see this, I can see the Tibetan future is very good. Nothing is ever going to happen. Chinese can never able to destroy, because you could keep people miserable, then they can't able to function. We have a few advantages because our country is mountainous. As Panjuchin is a land, means there are very few flat places where hence Chinese can settle. Remaining, they can't even breathe air, so we have few good advantage. No other country has, like my brother's monastery. Chinese can't breathe there, so luckily they meant to come there and dictate to see everything. And then they have to come with oxygen. So it's so wonderful that we have many advantages. So then I'm taking the opportunity to say everything I want to say today, because they don't ask me to do anything more, because I haven't got anything new to teach. Remember, always we should all take responsibility individually. We're remembering to be good, nice, kind, useful. We should engage environment. We should less collection, give more, and then always remembering, I want to help, I want to help. But then if if I say so much, then I'm very sorry. But I only say what I know is Dharma, what I practice. I am very grateful to my root guru, Rigby Doji, and his reincarnate Ojin Tini Doji, I wish he lives long life, because without him living long life, the Lama is getting quite old, so Tibetan's future is not so rosy. And I pray for his long life. From now onwards, I promise His Holiness, I'll not bother you anymore. You do as long as you want to do retreat. I'll do what I can myself for a Savakaju lineage. And this is my one thing I'm good is building temples and making statues and making sure the Buddha Dharma is not lost. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and Khenpo Labbo, loving kindly, maintaining the Sangha, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, where he is Milarepa's place. I remember I read Milarepa's Namta always. So he has got very holy place. And that area is not many coming or going, no corona disease. They're free from corona disease, teaching all the time. And yesterday somebody told me his young little children and some of the black children debating Dharma. I was so happy such thing exists. And I'm still trying to get one of these to see myself, but nobody managed so far get it from me. But one day I'll see, because they well through it. Because if we want to build a monastery in Congo, most populated, most dangerous part of the world, it is going to bring a great benefit. Our center there is one of the most highly committed Buddhist group. I sent this year 3,000 US dollars to feed more poor people there. They do all Jetun Doma Doma, they do a lot of prayer, they do a lot of chanting, they feed, they help other people. So more and more black community coming. So if one big family comes, everybody comes. So our place is going to be massive there, and they need to build. And Khenpo Lab is a promise. He will build a temple there. So if we have a temple there in Congo, Zimbabwe, retreat place, Yoba, Cape Town, everywhere. So Buddhism is very useful in the undernourished, impoverished country, more population. There were a lot of pain and suffering. Like well-off countries like now UK or Europe, everything they really need is there. So life is quite cozy. So that's why not many people find time to practice. See, if they say, I'm practicing, oh, I don't have much time. I have so many other things to do. But those people, they have plenty of time. They have a gratitude. They have appreciation. So Congo people, I get a lot of DVD play. Everybody have so much food to eat now because the people have bought so much food. I also helping plate full of this. And they're very equality. The women's eat or men's cook and also men's serving. They're such a beautiful. So I see there is future in Buddhism properly, root taking place in we call Africa, and also South Africa. We will have a really well established Dharma center. So we're not building all this millions pound of temple and Akung Laurang. That way, third Akung will come back to have his own place to start his Dharma activities. But the first thing, I want to give his medicine to back him. He tortured me, so I'm going to torture him for 21 years. I'm going to give him 7 years old or something. I'll give him someone who can torture him, teach him such a good Dharma, he becomes a Khenpo, really knowledge. Then I'll ask him to torture him to be meditating for 3, 4 more years, so he have experience of Dharma, meditation experience. When he have enough wisdom, then he can get back all his possession. And I'll leave this physical body form and go wherever I find future home. Tell that I'm determined to hang around here to pay back time. So all of Guru Rinpoche's students should do their best to help his future. So that's why the remarkable man, this book we printed so many, so people wanting so many, so 500 books printed, most of them going. We'll send 2,000 printed. Then it's most of them going, so we will send everywhere. And then we hope to print in, of course, in Tibetan and also in French, in Spanish, and many languages. So you can see someone who come from very primitive land, who never learned to speak proper English, can achieve so many things. This is really, you can see it's not the knowledge, university degree, so many qualifications. One who unshakable state of mind can achieve everything. So if you all want to follow Agunamuchi's example, you have to have a stable, unshakable, compassionate mind, and then everything's possible. So I think it's almost 6 o'clock. I want to say thank you very much listening to me and wish all of you very well. And I want to thank Anidoma. She's so skilled in sending my teaching alive there. So I want to thank everybody here. This is my, we call supreme luxurious sunny porch. Of course, there's no sun out there. It's all total dark. But this my this where I'm talking you from is meter half wide, but it's beautiful, made up by one of my skilled students. So I'm very grateful. It's warm, it's nice, and I enjoy thoroughly. And you can see this cushion behind me. It's knitted by one of my Nana. I don't know how he managed to find this design. And I like this design very much. Above this picture I'm showing is Castle of Ling. So this is a very beautiful, auspicious place. And I'm now sending all your very best wishes. It took a little bit, few minutes delay because there is a little complication when we're doing this webcasting. So I want to thank you. Oh, so nam deye tamche zikbai, tomne ni be danam tan, chekan nanche balam tukbai, sipin tolin dowa dowa